Hey guys, Dom here, back again with another Bethesda video. Now, as of late, it seems like the hype train is starting to leave the station when it comes to E3, especially seeing how some major developments in gaming are mostly coming this year, although this year will mainly be dominated by the arrival and full reveals of the next generation of consoles and hardware. Although within the last week or so, we've started to see some major developments regarding this year's conference, and how the event once referred to as the Super Bowl event for gaming is in ways shifting its focus away from games and developers and their fan base to cater more towards brands outside of gaming and social media influencers. Now, this was first covered in several outlets, one major site stating the following on Game Daily. The ESA is trying to rebrand E3 as a fan, media and influencer festival for next year's event. It also explains the changes, stating, as a part of its overhaul, the group proposes leaning into influencers and paid celebrity deals within talent representation agencies like UTA and CAA. It goes on to elaborate these changes, stating, the deck includes two examples of these high-profile celebrity activations, including members of the Los Angeles Lakers playing a basketball video game in front of fans or actors competing in a tournament. These attractions rely on massive change to the E3 show floor. And so with that, these sort of decisions have led some major developers and hardware companies to pull out of E3. And with that, one of the largest repercussions of these changes was Sony pulling out of E3 for the second time. Now, this was first reported on by Jason Schreier over on Kotaku, stating that we have great respect for the Entertainment Software Association as an organization, but we do not feel the vision of E3 2020 is the right venue for what we are focused on this year. So again, because of these changes, Sony feel that E3 isn't the event to announce their next-gen console, the PS5, which is a huge deal considering that Sony are a massive part of the gaming community, and to see their huge list of first-party titles from Sony not making an appearance at E3 this year is a huge blow to the convention and the possible turnout to this year's event. So with more and more of these companies opting in for online showcases instead of actually attending E3, it was a concern as to just who would actually be making the trip to E3 this year. And with that, the more I thought just about who would actually be at E3 this year, the more I started to believe that Bethesda might not actually be returning to the LA-based convention. As alongside Sony and Nintendo, Bethesda have also started to refer to live-streamed events to announce their major titles or development. For example, over the last few years, Bethesda have live-streamed events for Fallout 76, which accumulated millions of views just to watch a Vault Boy figure and a countdown to announce their next initial trailer. I mean, just over the last week or so, we've had two major live-streamed events from Bethesda, one last night for the Elder Scrolls Online and its Skyrim expansion, and the second being a major announcement for Doom Eternal and its subsequent release date. So in my eyes, it seems that Bethesda could be swinging the opposite way when planning on another E3 showcase, seeing as they found so much success when it comes to these announcement events on their own terms. To add to this, Bethesda were about a month ago advertising for an events manager, which also led to the belief that Bethesda could be doing this alone instead of preparing for their own showcase during E3. But this was until last night when Bethesda held their own showcase for the Elder Scrolls Online, with Pete Hines and Richard Lambert taken to the stage to go over all we can expect in this brand new year-long expansion in the heart of Skyrim. And to be honest, I was pretty impressed as to just what's coming in this brand new expansion and how much time they actually had to go over each and every little detail coming to this expansion, something they couldn't really do on their own showcase at E3. But it was during this event that we finally got confirmation that once again Bethesda will be putting on their own showcase at this year's E3 convention.
Anything else you want to tell us about what's coming in 2020, maybe second half of the year?
Yeah, I mean, we've only touched on quarter one and quarter two. We're going to talk more about quarter three and quarter four at E3, but
And so awesome. And one other thing I wanted to ask you, Stadia. We were part of the Stadia stuff, and we got a few questions like, hey, what's up with that?
We get that a lot, yeah, and we haven't forgotten about it. We're still hard at work on that, and we'll probably talk a little bit more about that at E3.
Awesome.
So there we have it, straight from the horse's mouth. We can once again expect Bethesda to be attending E3 this year. But with this year's E3 showcase, this could be their biggest showcase ever. As it got me thinking, well, if Bethesda are indeed doing another showcase this year, just what do they even have to show off or announce at this year's showcase? Seeing as the Elder Scrolls Online's latest announcement has already been shown off in last night's announcement event, The Dark Heart of Skyrim. But as stated in this event, we know that ZeniMax Online will be showing off more from this year-long expansion at E3, so we can expect that. But apart from this, we know due to the cancellation of the Elder Scrolls Legends that this game will no longer be making its annual appearance at future E3 showcases. Now, a game I'd expect to see at E3 this year would be Arcane Studios' Deathloop, which I do believe will be making a major appearance at this year's showcase, as it was first shown off at last year's E3 showcase, and it has been a game that Arcane Studios Leon have been working on for around 3 years now. And also from what I have been told, Deathloop is a current gen title, so we could also expect to see that game release possibly this year. Now, I'm sure they'll have an announcement for something like Quake Champions, as they normally have a presence at BE3 showcases, but apart from that, Bethesda's showcase seems to be a bit light on things to show off or announce, seeing as Doom Eternal will already be out months before E3 on March 20th. So it's unlikely that id Software will be in attendance, seeing as the game would already have been out for just over 2 months. And it would be too early for them to announce any new pieces of DLC or expansions coming to Doom Eternal at that time, which would leave Tango Gameworks, which by the looks of things, it seems that Ghostwire Tokyo, their latest announced game, has been cancelled, or the development of this mysterious title has been put into stasis, as suggested by development lead and ex-Tango Gameworks employee Akumi Nakamura over on Twitter, which would leave only Bethesda Game Studios. Now, when it comes to BGS, a lot of people will probably expect more on Fallout 76, but I don't think 76 will have a large presence at BE3, seeing as their largest expansion, Wastelanders, will be dropping in around March time. As they've stated, it will be fully released in the first quarter of the year, which means only one thing: Bethesda are clearly leaving space to announce their next single-player adventure, Starfield. Now, the reason we know something huge is coming from Bethesda Game Studios and Todd Howard's core team in Rockville, Maryland, is that Bethesda have been gearing up for a massive marketing push, likely leading up to and following a brand new release from the studio. Advertising for a bunch of job postings, mainly in marketing and management, all coming from Rockville, Maryland. Included in those jobs postings were positions for a campaign manager alongside all of these marketing positions, clearly gearing up for a massive marketing push for Bethesda's next main single-player release, Starfield. We also get more evidence that Starfield is coming with another position for a website developer to, of course, help redesign the entirety of Bethesda's website. Now, you may be asking, what does this have to do with Bethesda releasing a new title? Well, history tells us that Bethesda mainly rehaul their website when a new game or a major title from BGS releases. So for example, when Fallout 4 released, Bethesda completely redesigned their website to accommodate their next release. And the same thing happened for Fallout 76 with their current website, which of course was then altered to accommodate Starfield's announcements back in 2018. So with every Bethesda title in existence already being featured on Bethesda's website, why would Bethesda be hiring for a brand new web designer to create a brand new website if they weren't gearing up for a massive new release likely coming from Bethesda Game Studios? Remember, this is Bethesda's first IP in over 25 years, so unlike Fallout or the Elder Scrolls, Bethesda have to go all in on its marketing for this brand new game. Especially seeing as the continued blunder that is Fallout 76 has damaged the company's reputation. So Bethesda definitely need to, apart from perfecting the gameplay and the game itself, need to above all else push the marketing around Starfield to new heights. Multiple ads, trailers, teasers, review copies, a brand new website, an in-depth E3 showcase that centers around this brand new title, and so much more. Starfield needs to fall in line with this other in-house house franchises. And while it seems that Fallout may have taken a nosedive over recent years, we still have to face the fact that Fallout's older titles were monumental successes, and the Elder Scrolls even more so. So Starfield definitely has a lot to live up to when it comes to fitting in with its brothers and sisters within Bethesda's history. So that's why I believe we are seeing all of this push for a massive marketing team within Bethesda to accommodate this wholly original, brand new sci-fi epic Starfield, to which all signs point to first being shown at Bethesda's confirmed E3 2020 showcase. And with that, I'd expect to see a full reveal trailer and live streamed event, most likely coming weeks before their initial showcase, so I'd say around late May. But what do you guys think? Are you excited for Bethesda's E3 showcase this year? Let me know in the comments down below. Best ones get featured in the credits of these videos. And if you liked this video, hit that on that like and subscribe button. And as always,
Starfield